That one's a cutting. She's super happy. Hello. Hi. A trick to do this, by the way, is to actually tip it, putting them into 9cm pots. Hello and welcome to today's video. If you are new to this channel, hello, my name is Rachel and I run my own houseplant business here in Auckland, New Zealand called Growing Green, where we sell houseplants and related supplies. So make sure to check out our website www.growinggreen.nz, and this is our YouTube channel where we make videos all about houseplants and those houseplant supplies. So if that sounds like something you could be interested in, I would love if you would consider subscribing. So I'm just going to get straight on into today's video. I'm going through all of my plants and getting them ready for winter by repotting or pole extending or doing all sorts of things like that. So make sure to go and check out part 1 if you haven't already. You don't really have to watch these in any particular order, but if you want to watch them in the order that I'm doing them, then obviously go check out that one first and come back. So let's just get started. Ka-ching! Thank you for your order. So I'm going to start off the video by doing a couple of pole extensions because I don't have a lot of time left today, but this is my Melanochrysum that has been sitting inside by my television, and as you can see she's super happy, but she has definitely outgrown her pole. As you can see here, this is the top of the pole and this new leaf has sprouted way beyond it, so I'm actually considering chopping it. I think I'm going to chop it here and propagate this because I think it's gotten a little bit too long for the pole extension and this leaf is going to come out pretty small anyway. So I think I'm going to chop it there and then pre-extend it, so when that new growth comes in it will grow in nice and large. Hopefully that's the goal. So let's start off with that. I'm going to chop it down to this node here. There is actually 2 nodes here, so I'm probably going to chop that up and propagate both of them. Ooh. I actually really don't want to be propagating anything right now because it is going into winter and I am going away for 3 weeks over winter, so all those propagations are going to be sitting here, but I kind of have no choice in this case if I'm going to like save the top and make it big again. So yeah, we have 2 propagations there. I'm going to chop those in half like that. So I now have a wet stick, which is, if you don't know, a stick without a leaf, but that's still propagatable. I think that's the word. And obviously a leaf here with a node as well, and there is a new leaf coming and you're technically not supposed to propagate when there's a new leaf coming, but I've never had any problems with it. So that is 2 little cuttings there that I'm going to pot up, and I do need to look at all of my cuttings too. Too much to do, so little time. So now that that is done, I'm going to extend the pole, and hopefully the new growth that comes in will attach itself to the pole and obviously get bigger. That little leaf, like I said, I'm going to propagate. So these are the poles that we use, and yes, you can barely see them. These are the Thiccly grow poles. Oh, here we go, that's a little bit of a better shot for you, and this is the large. We are actually getting in the new 3.0 large, which is the one that closes in the front really soon, which is really exciting. We're the official New Zealand distributor for Thiccly. I honestly love these Thiccly poles, and I love the team behind Thiccly as well. It's so important to know that your products are coming from a team that really care about their product. This is the large size. To make these up, you just fold them along the lines like so. So now it looks like a triangle like that, and then you just clip them in. There is a little slot on this side and there's an arrow on this side. All you do is you put the slot over and under to make the Thiccly pole. So I'm just going to do that. It's a little bit hard to do it for camera, so I'm going to turn it this way and do it. Ta-da! It's all made, and I'm actually going to move to my greenhouse floor for the actual extension part. Move back! Move back! My dog's decided she's going to join me. Hello. Hi. Yes, give me all the kisses. So the trick with the Thiccly poles to extend them is to extend them before your plants get to like what you saw before with the little shoot coming up the top of it, and to make sure that you don't like have a really full pole. There are 2 little clips on the side here. If you want a full video about it, I did one down below. Make sure to go check that out. The video is a little old, but the poles are still the same. You've got to squeeze them in, put it inside, and then lower it until it gets to the little tab things. And then you just kind of click them into place. And you make sure they click into that pole. Click. Ta-da! And then your pole is all extended and ready to go. And that should not go anywhere. It's solid as. Oh! It just moved. It gave me a heart attack. It is solid, I promise. It just moved like into place, if that makes any sense. I always fill my poles with tree fern fiber. I find it works a little bit better than moss or even our soil mix. Because it does stay wetter for a little bit longer, those roots are attracted to the fern fiber a little bit more. But yeah, everyone has a different substrate they like to use. A trick to do this, by the way, is to actually tip it so it just slides down by itself. So I'm going to lean it on the tub. And I really love these potting scoops on our website too, because they're so small, they actually fit inside the pole. If I do this, see, they kind of fit right inside the pole. So when you put it in, most of the foam fiber does get in said pole, you know. Ta-da! And it slides itself down, which is really, really handy. I also stand them up and give them a bit of a pat, and they will settle down, because you don't want any holes in the pole. Another trick with Thiccly poles is to make sure that when you do extend your pole, you put the substrate a little bit further up than the last bit of growth. And the reason you do that is because sometimes the leaves can grow into the pole, and you know, you end up pulling them out. So yeah, make sure that the substrate is always beyond the top of the last leaf. So that's that one done. That was nice and easy. It is all big and ready to go. I do have one more that I want to do. Actually, I have two more that I want to do. The problem is I'm trying to sell some of these because I am going on holiday and get them out of my greenhouse, but no one's buying them because they're way too big to ship. And 90% of people want their stuff shipped. They don't want to come pick up. So I actually might just propagate it instead. So yeah, let's do that. I'm just going to be watering the actual pole itself rather than letting it run down into the pot. So I am going to lay it down like that. I know a lot of you guys ask me how to water just the pole and not the pot. And sometimes it is a little bit hard because the pot might be completely fine but the pole is really dry. I just lay it down like this and then water it on top like that. But yes, some of the water will go into the substrate, but what can you do? It should be totally fine. So this is the next victim, and as you can see, it is actually way above the top of the Thiccly pole already, and I've had it on the website for a wee while, but nobody really wants to buy it because it's pick up only, because obviously it's so big. So I think my best option in this case is to chop and prop. So let's do that. I'm gonna start at the top. Where are we at? I think I'm gonna make that one cutting. Ta-da! This one, for some reason, I don't know why, just hasn't done as great as the others as well. Like the other one was nice and big, it was upsizing until I didn't repot it. But this one somehow was just not keen. So this one is going to be a cutting. That one's a cutting. That one's a cutting. I'm going to leave this as is because this part is perfectly healthy and the roots are healthy as well. So I'm just going to upsize the pot that it's in and maybe change out the substrate in the pole from our houseplant mix to fern fiber. So this was in a 14 centimeter pot. I'm going to upgrade it to a 17 centimeter pot. I don't even know why I put it in this black pot. I don't know where this black pot came from. Oh well, let's get a pot. Alright, 17 centimeter pot acquired. I'm going to gently, this should indeed just fall out like that. Now that's empty. I'm going to just give a little wiggle of the roots to loosen them up a bit. Other than that, they look perfectly fine. And I'm going to fill the rest up with tree fern fiber because they seem to really, really love tree fern. So why fix what ain't broke? I'm going to just reattach this to the pole with a butterfly clip because it's kind of the easiest way to do it. And there we go. And it's really small and sad now, but that's okay. That will grow on and it should be totally fine. And see how that's sort of just above that node there? That should be fine now until it grows. Hi, baby. Hi. Come here. Give me a kiss. Look how fat she is though. Like, oh. Speaking of, the last plant is this one here. Again, it's a Melanochrysum. This one actually isn't that pretty. I put it on the website sort of as a seconds because it is salvageable or propagatable or whatever. But again, no one's touching it. So I am going to propagate it like that one. This one is a little bit uglier, so it might just literally be like 3 propagations, maybe 4. Because to be honest, I don't have time to deal with the bottom bit that is just wet sticks. Nor can I be asked propagating it because, like I said, propagating things like that just for the sake of the shop was like draining my will to look after houseplants. So I think I'm going to chop this one up as well. That one I might actually make one cutting. That one is a cutting, and that one is a cutting. Sad but true, but the rest of this is going bye-bye because nobody wants it and I can't be bothered dealing with it, and that's fun. I'm just going to take all of these over to my bench, pop them up and leave it there for the night, and then I'll come back in another day and do some more because there's more to do. Alright, so these cuttings have actually been sitting on this bench overnight. It's now the next day and I'm going to pop them up. I'm going to be putting them into 9cm pots with tree fern fibre, and I am going to be dunking them in some rooting hormone just because it is a little bit later on in the season. I want to give them a little bit of a kick start. And yeah, that's it. Let's do it. Alright, now that those are potted up, I'm going to water them in with some CCS, pop them in this tray, and then pop them on a heat mat, which makes me really sad to say because it is quite cold at the moment. So I absolutely hate autumn and winter. Let me know in the comments down below whether you like autumn or winter, because people who like the cold, I don't get it. I'm going to put a little bit of water in there because they don't need much, and hopefully they all fit. Alright, technically they all fit. As you can see, it's a little bit of a squeeze on this side. I'm not actually going to put a dome on it. I think it's still warm enough for it to be humid enough as it is. I'm going to put a little bit more water down in the spag moss under here, which is what that is for. I'm not worried about these leaves being squashed either because these are purely just to give energy back to the plant to make roots. So let's put a little bit of water in the bottom. So like I said, the wet spag helps to keep the humidity up, but it also helps to keep everything warm in here because it, what is it called? Conducts the heat and it sends it to the plant. So yeah, that's that all done. So I've just edited this video up to here and I realized that it's quite long already, so it's going to be just a Melanochrysum video. If you do want a video on how I kind of like propagated this and with like progress and stuff like that, make sure to check out this video up here. If it's not up there, it will be in the description box down below on how I propagate and like kind of full progress of Melanochrysum. But I have one more plant to deal with in this video, so let's take a look. So this is the plant here. I just pulled it out from in here. There's so many plants in here. I still have, like I said, so much to go through. It's overwhelming, but this is the plant here. Let me bring you in close and show you. So as you can see, this one is quite bald again on the bottom, which is about halfway up, and then we have growth up the top here with leaves. I'm going to be chopping this one up again. This is kind of a wonky looking plant. As you can see, it's growing out the side. Again, it was neglected and not cared for, so that's why it grew like that. Such is life. So I'm going to be chopping this one up. I've already advertised cuttings, so if someone wants to buy a fresh cutting, they can just buy a fresh cutting because I already have all of those cuttings you just saw me pop up, which will be more than enough. Here are all of the cuttings. They've been sitting here for a few hours now so that they can callus over on the end here. It is all nice and solid there, so I'm going to go ahead and pop them up. These ones are quite a bit larger than the last ones, so some of them might have to go in stupidly larger pots. Normally when you propagate, you kind of just put the node in there, but I'm going to have larger pots so they don't, like, you know, touch the floor all the time, or I have to put them back in here to propagate. But yeah, we'll see as we go. Let's put them in a pile to start. There are some really nice cuttings in this lot. I'm just going to be doing the same thing again. I'm going to be putting a little bit of rooting hormone on them and putting them in fern fibre. Let's do it. So I've popped them all on this shelf here, ready to propagate, and all of these little ones are inside my office on this heat mat. I am actually hopefully within the next 2 weeks getting a grow tent. I've been going around a few shops looking at a few options, and I think I found the one I want, so we're gonna go ahead and purchase that. And I'm obviously gonna make a video on setting it up, and I'm gonna be putting these cuttings in there, including the earlier ones, and just seeing how they go, because I do want to continue to propagate these while I'm away on holiday. So I think popping them in the grow tent will be the perfect way to do that. I'm also going to really quickly show you one last Melanochrysum. Now this is one that I have grown really big and chopped, and it is just, it's giving me the most amazing leaves right now, and I've got to show you. Here she is. Look at that leaf. That is ridiculously stunning. This is currently, I measured it this morning for an Instagram post, just over 40 centimeters, like 41.5 or something like that. And this is the leaf it gave me beforehand. Now this one hardened off at 43 centimeters, but this one hasn't hardened off yet, so I'm really excited to see how big this one gets. And that is all for today's video. If you do enjoy it, please make sure to subscribe down below. I will have a part 3 coming, because I obviously, as you can see, so I have a lot of plants to get through, and I need to get through them all before June. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to get notified when we upload the next one. Also give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. It helps me know what kind of content you guys like to see and helps keep these videos coming. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.